Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.
Okay, there goes the sound. Thank you, Angela. I was saying good morning, Angela. I was saying good morning, Nikista. Now I'm gonna say good morning, Incognito. I was also mentioning that I really wasn't sure what page we're on, but I think we're on page 80. Page 80, I think we're on. Hold on a second. Also, guys, I've been on a cleaning spree like you can't imagine. Cleaning out closets, seasoning cabinets, like everything. I've been taking my time, just making sure. I just want my house back to new again, my apartment back to new again when I first got it. 149. 149. Oh, what the hell? That's why Minnie Evans rings a bell because we should be at 149. Okay. Hi, Rosie Weinberg. Good morning, Tracy. Good health. How are you, beautiful? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Rosie from Philadelphia. Hi, Rosie. How are you? Thank you for coming on, too. All right, hold on a second, guys. I have to admit, I woke up very late today, but I went to bed late because I was doing my candle magic. It's so pretty, guys. By the way, guys, no kidding. If you want me to do candle magic for you, um, I could do candle magic for you. Just check out my website. I'm gonna change the prices though, so hopefully you'll get it before I change my prices, guys. Because I every time I do the candle magic, everybody is shocked. Like, oh my god, you put so much work in. Blah, 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 blah. I take pictures. I tell you exactly how I'm gonna word it. what color candle. I used to make the candles, but I've had such a hard time getting the wax delivered. Oh my God, like I live in a third world country. And but now I just make it easy on myself and I get 7-day candles and I mark it up. I have an interview with you to for you to tell me what it is that you're looking for. And then I light your candles with my candles because I do candles regardless, right? So I might as well light yours too, right? That's a thing. I just do candles every new moon, every full moon, and that's when I do your candles, unless it's an absolute emergency. So go to my website before I change my prices on those candles, because I am going to change my prices on those candles because I put my foot in it. And the only reason why I'm changing my prices because everybody is shocked at how much work I put in. They're shocked. Like, who do you think I am? I put my foot in everything. Your reading, by the way, if you want to book a reading with me, 213-458-7408. You know, I've been getting some of Michelle, how do you pronounce it? Atelian clients, because she gave me a shout out like 2 or 3 times. I'm so honored that she believes in me, because I did a reading on her because of that whole Claudia situation. And she's hilarious. She's hilarious. She calls Claudia a terrorist. I find her so funny. But I did a reading on her, and when I did a reading on her, she came in the feed. Like, I didn't know her personally. She came in the feed, and I said, well, if you're in the feed, then I'm just going to read you. I'm going to read you directly. And that's what I did. And she not recommended, but told her people about me. So I'm so happy that I'm getting some of her clients, right? And her clients are shocked. They're shocked. They're like, whoa. And one of her clients, I picked up on something, and she was like, yeah, you're right. Yep. So thank you, Angela. Don't forget the rosemary oil as well. I put my foot in everything, guys. And then I have this amazing gratitude journal with a dedication inside for my son. So if you're listening at any point, including right now, please please follow. And let me go get my coffee. And I'll be right back. So I'm on page 149. So I have one final herb cabinet to clean out. And I have to throw all of the herbs out because they're all expired. Even though I use them for candle magic, I don't want no dry herbs in my thing. And they're kept in a original container, which is plastic. If you take the herbs and put them in a glass mason jar, it can last forever. But it's in its original plastic or brown paper bag, however it comes, it's not gonna last. My voice sounds heavy today to me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here you go. You're so right, Angela. Thank you. So did we read? You said Rucker, psychic ability, inherited traits. Okay. I do remember. Okay, guys, 149. Oh, we're at expelling negative spirits. Oh yeah, I like this. I like this. Expelling negative spirits. That's what we're looking at today. Do you guys have your coffee? So good. Wow. I love to start my day with a cup of coffee. I don't drink it all day. I just love to start my day with it. And when I make it well, which I always don't make coffee well, but if I make it well, so good. So good. Hi, Stephen. How are you, sweetie? Alrighty now. Uh, let me get this party started. Where am I? Started. Okay. Page 149. Where's my bell? Let's start off with the bell. In the name of Jesus, come out. With this cry, Mother Ellerby, evangelist and spiritual counselor, commands negative spirits who are obsessing her parishioners. Some demons would say, "We are not coming out." Lord have mercy. Mm. She says. Then the struggle intensifies with the person's body rolling and thrashing around on the floor and spitting out foam and pus. But the entity eventually flees at Mother Ellerby's constant prayerful cries to God in her battle with it. Other demons use strategies, Mother Ellerby continues. They pretend they are angels of light. Some say, "I'm fine." But the evangelist senses that the demon is still there, acting deceitfully, speaking as if it were the parishioner. "You lying demon," Mother Ellerby charges, and resumes her prayer and the exorcism process. She indicates that these spirits have intelligence, but it is used for evil. Mm. Mother Ellerby proceeds, when a sickness is caused or aggravated by demon possession, she summons these demons out, identifying, identifying the illness with them. After a negative spirit exits, pain and the symptoms of the illness leaves. She works with medical doctors who believe in the power of spiritual prayer in the healing process. At one meeting, a visiting woman darkened by despondency and confusion improved almost immediately after Mother Ellerby laid hands on her. She almost glowed as she told the group how much better she felt. But before the gathering was over, a young girl across the room slipped from her chair to the floor and lay there with her eyes rolled back. Discerning the sameness about the body's vibration, Mother Ellerby sensed the demon has transferred. Before dislodging the spirit again, Mother Ellerby had all the spiritual vulnerables usher from the room and handed Bibles to the others. The transferring spirit was finally exorcised. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. In, in his work with Mother Ellaby, her son Clarence often sees the effects of negative forces removed. In church settings and in prayer meetings, usually 2 or 3 spiritually strong and consecrated people stand around Mother Ellaby while she lays her hands on people to command the demons to come out in the name of Jesus. The ministrations may last 5 minutes or as long as 5 hours. The door for demon spirits to enter, Clarence relates, is often opened by hatred, resentment, jealousy, fear, alcohol, drugs. Interesting. I'm going to highlight that. The deliberate use of rituals for evil intent. There you go, guys. And other negative emotions and negative conditions are also factors. Isn't that interesting? That would be a definite change in the face and the voice and the eyes of the victim, Clarence says. After exorcism, a look of peace comes into their eyes. With heavy demonic presence, there is a fog of darkness. When it is cleared up, you can see light and the person has a cleaner look. People would become free and healed of their emotions and bad habits. Mother Ellaby speaks of battles with evil presence, even as a child, and at times she dispelled them by herself through calling upon the help of God. My success in the spiritual world is the result of battles won. My success in the physical world is the result of battles won in the spiritual world, she declares. The moment you decide to give your life to God. Now, that phrase kind of bothers me a little bit, so I'm just going to hold on to that for a minute. Negative forces will start to rail against you. The stronger I became was a direct result of overcoming dark forces. Okay, it's the end, by the way. I highlighted where Clarence, the son, says, how does a spirit get in? He's not questioning, but I'm saying in the form of a question. It is often opened by hatred, resentment, jealousy, fear, drugs, alcohol, gambling. I have to add gambling. And I can't think of anything else. So this is really the most important thing. Most people don't know that they have hatred. Most people don't recognize resentment in themselves. Most people don't know that they have a jealous spirit. Think about it, guys. Most people don't know that they carry fear. Now, you know if you're a drinker. You know it personally. But I have had clients where the drinking, card comes up in a spread, and I will say to my client, does your partner drink? They will tell me no, because they can't recognize that the partner is drinking, because the partner exercises how they drink so that they don't look like a drunk. And then I'll go further and I'll be like, oh no, you don't think he drinks? No. I don't think he drinks. Okay. All right. How much liquor does he keep in the house, right? Because if you don't drink, The last thing you're going to do is spend money on liquors or different types of liquors. Think about it, right? So I go, how much liquors does he keep in the house? Oh, he doesn't keep a lot of liquors, but he does keep a lot of beers in the house. Ma'am, he drinks. No one just keeps beer in the house. Who are you keeping beer for? You're like, oh, just in case somebody comes over? No, the beer is for you. The liquor is for you. Not you, the woman, the person whose apartment they're in. And sometimes when I tell my clients that their partner drinks, right away I've lost them. They don't want to see it. And I'm like, look at it better. This person drinks, has a drink. Doesn't matter if it's 2 glasses. But if you have to have a glass of wine every night, you're a drinker. Most people don't know this. I used to date a guy that would only drink at home, right? But he would drink like I don't know what it was, gin or something, right? And when you drink certain types of hard liquor, you don't take a full glass. It's the way it's designed this way. So you take like a quarter glass and you sip it, but it's hard liquor. I think it's like bourbon or gin or something like that. Something I cannot tolerate, right? And I never went into his refrigerator. I would go over his house all the time, but I never went into his refrigerator. He cooked for me all the time, so I never had to really go in his refrigerator. And then one day, for whatever reason, oh, I remember I was going to cook for him. Ugh. And I went in his refrigerator and it's full of beer. Full of beer. And then I looked at him. Once I saw the beer, I looked at him. This guy was organizing his drinking when he got home, and he would have to be home for the evening. That means he can't go to the supermarket. He has to be done for the evening. And so I started questioning him without him knowing that I had already guessed that there was a problem. And I said, have you ever gotten a DUI? And he said, yes. But he beat the DUI. But he did have to go to DUI classes, but it's not on his record, blah, 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 blah. And then I realized I was dating a drunk. And let me tell you something. Dating a drunk is the worst. Because they have 2 different personalities. They got the drunk personality and they got the dry drunk personality. And the dry drunk personality does not have a personality. The drunk side does. And whether that's the fun guy or the mean guy or the sarcastic guy or the violent guy, there's still 2 different personalities. Like you always hear, like back in the day, especially, he came home drunk. That means that person's a problem. Or you'll hear girls, say, I didn't know what I was doing because I was drunk. Yeah, that's because you are a drunk. Not because you got drunk. This is what you do, right? So that's drugs and alcohol. That's something separate and apart from something as simple, because drugs and alcohol, it's tangible. You got to go out and buy this. You can identify a drug and alcohol issue. You got to spend money on this, right? You don't have to spend money on your resentment, on your jealousy, on your fear, right? That is just something that just could be in you, but it could be masked too, right? You don't go around announcing that you're jealous. Who does that? But you still could be. And if over time you don't know yourself enough to know that you carry jealousy, ugly gets in, evil gets in. And you don't even recognize that you are operating under resentment, jealousy, fear. Like You can't even identify with it. So, you know what most people do? I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent because this is very important. You know what most people do? They then they then place God in front of it. Oh, you so lucky, girl. God bless you. God bless you. God gonna bless everybody. They put God in front of it. But I can see the difference in people when they put God so strongly in front of themselves. They're ugly. I see it because I listen. I have clear audio. So you can preach all you want. What I will hear is she's a dangerous woman. And I said woman because a lot of times we women verbalize God quicker than men will. We'll put God in front of it because you don't know that you're jealous. You don't want to identify with it. So then you push God in front of it, but you're using God. Like most of us are going to wind up in heaven and most of us are going to be shocked. I did what? And God is going to be like, all your life you were jealous. And you're going to be shocked when you go, like, get the review. But I would rather you review you right now. Because what comes out of, like, not identifying your personal ugly is meanness. Come on, you all know we all have that coworker that's mean as shit. And then you find out they're going through something, right? Because you don't even understand that being mean as shit because you're going through something is that person coming to work, maybe wishing you bad luck because they're going through a divorce. Maybe it's making sure that you don't do your job right because they're going through something. If I'm going through something, you going through something. They don't come out and say it. They don't say it. If I got to be miserable, everybody going to be miserable. Who comes out and says that? Mm-hmm. Trifling people. Which is why it's important for you to have discernment and clarity and understanding. No one's asking you to fix a person that's going through something. I'm asking you to recognize what's an ugly spirit. Nobody's asking you to figure out somebody's going through a divorce or problems with their children. Imagine, here's a good example. Imagine having problems with your children, your own children, and you go to work and somebody else says, I have an amazing child that's about to enter college, and you got a child that ran away. And you got to sit there and go, oh my God, what college is she going to? Blah, blah, blah. Do you understand how easy jealousy can get in? And you're not a jealous person, but it's there. And if you don't recognize that there's a twinge of jealousy there, evil gets in. Did I help with that uh, exercise? Or here's another one, because I want you all to get it, to understand it. Oh, I've had a terrible mother, terrible. And somebody else goes, me and my mother are best friends. Not in the form of competition. That is truly just that person's life. Me and my mama are best friends, right? What you gonna do? How you think you're gonna operate? Do you really think you're gonna say, "Oh, you and your mama best friends, huh? Look at God. Look at God." That's not what you're gonna say. Inside, you're gonna be like, hmm, Bet you she lying. Her and her mama best friends. Bet you she lying. Or you might say, "Oh, sweetie, that's so nice that you." But jealousy walked in because you can't identify with someone that has a great relationship with their mother. But you might say, "Look at God. God is so good." Do you mean it? Not calling people out here. This might hurt your feelings inside. I don't need to know whose feelings I'm hurting. I need to tell you that this is the way the operation works internally, that you don't even know that you're jealous. Let somebody buy a house and you struggling to buy a house, or you want to buy a house, but you have a partner that's not going to let you buy a house. This woman got a partner that's buy the biggest house out there. You're going to get jealous. Let me tell you, these examples, which there are many, is not for you to identify. It's for you to understand everyone carries this. It's how you get it out your system that matters. Everyone carries a twinge of jealousy, resentment, fear, and all the other adjectives. It's how you release it that's important. Don't put God in front of that shit because I can tell the difference. Don't act like you God given. God, 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 God. I know the difference, church ladies. We're not about to pretend. And I am not God, so I am not judging. I'm telling you, I will stay the fuck away from you. That's the difference. I'd be like, okay, all right now. Blessed and highly favored. Okay, now. I'm going to go with that. And I will move to the left. Now, let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, I'm so jealous. I spit it out there. Let a young girl walk past me in the cutest little outfit. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. You are gorgeous. Do you see how you could handle it? Identify the feeling that I got, right? I put it out there. I throw it back out. I don't keep it inside. I don't own jealousy. It doesn't live inside of me. You're not allowed to stay there. If jealousy was a thing, an entity, which it is, by the way, and it walked in your house, would you let it stay? Get the fuck out, jealousy. What the hell are you doing here? That's what it does. So I identify it right away. It's like, oh my God, I'm so jealous. And then I throw out something else for them to carry on with, right? And then I'll be like, you are beautiful. I love your hair. Girl, walk with that body. Go, go, go. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm choosing women because we let it get in quicker. All right? And we hold on to it quicker. And so the next time you see the person, guess what? The jealousy grows, the resentment follows. And then a fear will come over you that if you stand next to someone so beautiful, who gonna look at you, boo? Right. Right. I'm an old broad now. All right. I'm pretty sure, maybe I didn't know it. My mama says the youth is wasted on the young. I'm pretty sure I was gorgeous. I would have had to have been, right? In my youth. My daughter in law, she is so sweet. We were talking the other day and she was like, Tracy, I could see why, men chased you, blah, 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 blah. She goes, you were gorgeous. And I was like, yeah, I was. Not really like going with the flow with her because there's a part of my youth that I missed and not recognizing my beauty. But I'll tell you what, I'm 62. Wait, am I 62? Let me see, 2, 3, 4. I'm 61. Fuck. I'm only 61. Am I just 61? Let me see. I came here at 59, 60, 61. Oh, okay. All right. I'll be 62 in August. And for my age bracket, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't even want to be there anymore. Them young girls can have this life. In my age bracket, I'm beautiful. And I stand on God. But it doesn't mean I might not see a young girl who don't have a pop belly like I do. I got a pop belly. This belly's been around, and not in a, like a trashy kind of way, but it's lived a long time, this belly. You don't know how to snap back in, right? And so when I see a young girl in a bathing suit, I'm like, girl, that's cute. I get it out. Over the years, I never really wanted a house, but I've been kind of thinking maybe I do want to own a house now. I've been kind of tossing that around lately. I know I don't want, but whatever. Over the years, somebody said, we just closed on a house. I'm like, you are so blessed. You are so blessed because the house chooses you. You didn't close on a house. The land chose you. It's all spiritual, like the trees, the land, the grass, the flowers, that. But I never wanted a house anyway. So what I don't want makes it easy for someone to want. Because if I wanted a house, I would have gotten one. Right? That's how I would handle my jealousy. I'd be like, bet. You got a house, you got a house, you got a house. I'm getting me a house. I just never really wanted a house. Am I making sense to you guys? Let me see. Let me go back up a little. Good health, Bree. What? As you say in the South, gin makes you sin? Gin is gin is that strong? Ciao. No, having a parent as a drunk is the worst. Yeah, I had a drunk parent, Bree. Yeah, it's hard. Thank God one was a drunk, the other one wasn't. So the 50% is what I've had to organize and make sure that I myself did not become, you know, a drinker like that. Let me see. Bree says that comment, me and my mom are best friends, never made me mad, but it did make me very sad. Same difference, Bree. Then I used to think that God didn't love me. There you go. Then God sent women who mothered me and in the best way. There you go. There you go. But it's that sadness where evil can get in. Do you understand? Not that evil got in with you, because what did God do instead? He gave you women that mothered you. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I was not mothered the best, but I mother the world. Like I took everything. I mean, I think my mom did the best she could, right? But maybe her best wasn't good enough either, to be honest with you. For my development, right? I just can't imagine if I had a more loving mother, would I have turned out like so much more gracious? Like if I had no limitations on what mothering looked like could I have been like amazing? I think of it that way, right? Because with the lack of it, I still wound up mothering others and being amazing to and for others. So imagine if I got it all. Like I would be like, I don't know, probably be a goddamn nun. You know, I want to be a nun. All right. No, I mean, that's what we do here, Bree. We're transparent. That's exactly what we do here. Because if we're not transparent, we can't get through life problems and tribulations and struggles, right? Right? What are we learning in counseling? Speak your truth, which is why, even though my mom is dead, you know, I still say I did not have the best childhood. Like, it was rough. And I still say it, not because it's an obvious fact of my living, but I say it because it's my transparency. And I'm 61 years old, and I'm still talking about mother wound issues. But I got to give my dad a lot of credit. When I was 16 years old, he took me in and gave me that proper balance that I needed in his fatherly ways, right? He could never mother me, but at least I got the protection that I needed from him. And protection is about care, concern. Have you eaten? Let's go out to eat. How is school? What do you mean you failed? We don't fail in this family. Like, it's stuff like that that my dad gave me that my mother couldn't. So transparency, yeah, bring it out, child. Bring it out. Anybody else want to be transparent? I got time. I got time. I don't rush through these book clubs. We got time. The way I see it, some Black mothers go to the doctor to get anything fixed, but will not seek help to repair things with their daughter. Yeah, sometimes they just don't know, Bree. Sometimes, even in my psychic readings with my clients, I tell my clients, I need you to get counseling. And they will tell me, I got too much to do to get counseling in 2024. And other times, I'll tell my clients to get counseling. I'll speak to them a year later, and they'll be like, it was the best decision I ever made. And I'd be like, yeah, yeah. And I'm not telling you to get counseling, I'm ordering it. I'm ordering counseling. Don't use psychic readings as your version of counseling. That doesn't work. Sign up with your medical insurance and get some counseling. And be transparent with the counselor. And let the cells inside your body breathe, because you've been holding on to so much of that historical anxiety. Let it go. Release it. Talk about it. There's so many times I went to counseling and I came back and I was like, I feel so much better. But I purged in the room. Yeah. Anybody else wants to be transparent? Don't be afraid now. That's what we're here for. Y'all know I'm transparent. There's not a story I haven't told y'all. There was a story I haven't told y'all. And then I was like, I'll talk about it later. But there's not a story I haven't told y'all. I'm very transparent, and I do it on purpose to encourage others to speak their honest truth. Whether you do it or not is okay, but at least you know somebody around you is transparent. That was a good hold on a second, guys. Oh, Sorry, guys. I get this thing called Lysol bleach multi-purpose, and I have these white tile floors, and at some point the white tile floors get really grungy looking, so then I do a deep cleaning on them. And this is like for your bathroom, but I use it on my floors, and I let it sit for a couple of hours. I meant to I meant to do it last night, right? So I would get up and mop this morning, but whatever. I forgot. But it makes the floors nice and white. In any case, Angela says, same as Bree. I didn't have a good relationship with my mother. Saw other childhood friends who had great relationships with theirs and wished I had had that with my mother. Yes. Yes, speak it. Speak it. Is your mom still alive, Angela? Because Bree, I know your mom is still alive. But I feel like with Bree, maybe, you know, keeping a little bit of distance is healthier for you. You know, I've learned with my mother keeping a distance was healthy. I remember she was on dialysis. And again, when we talk about, you know, why do things happen? I have a friend right now that is in the hospital, and she was talking last night, and she's going through something, but she said something, and she said, she didn't realize what she said, right? And you can't educate people when they're in a hospital. But she's mad at a person. She says, uh, God will get him. And I says, no, no, no. You heal. You heal. Don't put God on him. You know what I mean? I didn't say that to her. I just said, no, no, you worry about healing, right? Because she's in a hospital. You can't really educate because the mind, the body, everything's not okay. But I had to like stop the energy, right, from being transferred because of anger. Oh, that was the other resentment, anger. That was the other. Oh, anger. That was it. I knew I was forgetting something. Um, I get a lot of people that love the man, have children with the man. Sorry, guys, this is just my what I go through in my profession. Love the man, have children with the man, and the man turns on them, and maybe he cheats, whatever, right? And they're now separated, divorced, whatever. And I get people that will literally call me and they'll get a reading and we'll talk about the relationship. And then they'll go, is he, at some point in a reading, they'll go, is he going to get his karma? And I will say to them, that is not my job to see. I can't make you happy by showing you his karma. Didn't you have children with him? Yes. Do you really want him to get his karma? Because he could get his karma while your child is with him. So what do you want? You want a car accident? What are you asking me when you say, will he get his karma? This man has children. No, he's not going to get his karma. And you know why he's not going to get his karma? Because you've done ugly. You just can't see yourself in the midst of wanting something bad for him. Trust me, if you choose a bad man, you have that in you too. Do you know what I mean, guys? Because if you don't have it in you, You would identify it quicker, easier, and you would walk away. So there's a part of you that co-signs his bad behavior. And most people don't wake up one day with bad behavior. You see it while you're dating. And then once you go over like your dating history, you're like, oh my God, I let him get away with this. I let him say this, da 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 da. And then, but you're co-signing it, unfortunately. I'm watching Love Island right now, and little white girl Kayla and this guy Aaron from the UK. I really want to know if these two are going to survive, because I don't believe they will. Maybe I should do a reading on that today, because the finale is tonight. Let me see if those two survive. And Kayla can't hear how much Aaron does not like her. Kayla can't hear it. She can't understand it. I wish his bromance Rob would have left earlier, because that would have measured how much Aaron really loved her. But Rob lasted to the end, and Aaron wanted to be in the house because of Rob, not because of Kayla. And so if these two wind up getting married, what's going to happen is long-term deterioration of the relationship, because she can't see it. And she's going to co-sign the nasty things that he says to her. And he has said them some nasty things. All right. And so when we get to divorce, it's only because it's piled on. All the ugly has piled on. Well, let me tell you something. It is not going to be one-sided, because in private, you have said some ugly things to him too. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of just saying, this isn't my thing. I gotta go. I can't be in this relationship. You're not mine. You don't like me. And be okay with that. I don't care if we're 2 children in. When you get the wake up call, get out. Because all that's living in that house is anger, resentment, jealousy, fear. You walk through your doors and your home is unhappy. You walk in unhappy. Tracy, I just want peace. I just want peace. Kick him out. Move. I've had one client that's had to leave her house to her man, get a whole new condo, and leave. I'm not saying you can afford that, but everyone can step out the front door and never come back again. Or else you co-sign. And when you co-sign, you go to work with that energy. You're out in the public with that energy. And don't throw God in the mix. Because if God was really, really, really inside of you, as you say, you would never stay with an ugly person, ever. You would see it for what it is, and you'd be like, Lord, I think I'm sleeping with the devil. Help me to get out. That's not what I get. Instead, what I get is I love him. Even though he treats me like dirt, I love him. Okay. Okay. That's how the demon gets in. And I'm not talking about a real demon, right? The demon is an organism that grows inside of you. In the book, they're talking about actual demons, right? But there's no way you could be angelic and have a rotten fucking partner. There's no way. Think about it. Ooh, child. I'm preaching today. She's alive, but I haven't seen her in 30 years. Angela, she must have been a lot then. She must have been a lot. I'm going to give you an assignment, Bree and Angela, anybody else that's listening. For 1 week, 1 week starting today. What's today's date? The 21st. This is perfect, 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 perfect. We have a 16, oh Lord, I'm educating again. We have a 16-year cycle that is ending. What were you all doing in 2008? I remember 2008. My son was 19 years old. What were you all doing in 2008? 16 years of that is ending today. What were you doing in 2008? Don't lie to yourselves. If you are ugly, say it. If you are mean, say it. Right? I'm asking you to look at yourself in the process of something happening to you. What were you doing in 2008? Me personally, I think I was a controlling mother in 2008. And I've had to write a letter to myself. You guys can do it too. And I've had to say to myself, I'm sorry I didn't recognize control. I'm sorry I wanted to hold on so tightly. I'm sorry that my vision for my son was not his vision for himself. And I forgive myself because it took years to recognize that I was stringent. Maybe out of what? Fear. What happens at 19? Our kids want to run amok, right? They want to hang out with their friends. They want to, you know, they want to run the streets a little, right? So, what were you doing in 2008? And I want you to look at yourself. What happened in 2008? Because it controlled your whole being for 16 years. But it ends literally today. Literally. Now, might it take 6 months, 2025 before we, really identify with, all the changes, all the things we have to release? Yeah, it might take you 6 months to understand that, maybe you weren't operating. Forget your mother, you weren't operating at your optimum best. And then today, I'm not talking about do this for 6 months, do this for a week. And then write a letter to your mom. I'll do it with you. I mean, it's time to reconcile those feelings. I'm not saying they're going to go away. I'm saying it's time to what, Bree? Be transparent. So write a letter to your mother. Start today. And it don't have to be like one big letter unless spirit just has you writing. Hold the paper out for a week. Every time you think of something, put it down, put it in your phone. Come back home later and write it down. But write a letter to that womb energy. And to be honest with you, this era is actually father womb energy. This era for the next 6 months, next 5 months during Saturn retrograde is actually father womb energy. So then you're going to have to ask yourself, did your mother act a certain way because of your father? You got to look at it, and you might have to forgive her. Not talk to her, Angela. Forgive her. That the tools that she was given to raise you wasn't shit. She didn't get what she could have gotten based upon maybe her daddy, based upon maybe your daddy. The tools weren't there. She might have to forgive her. If you have a child that you teach not to walk, and now the child is 13, and you're like, well, why doesn't the child walk? Well, she never wanted to walk. What do you mean? Well, I just kept her legs strapped down. What are you talking about? And then the child figures out at 13 that they got to start all over again, which is what this energy is right now. I got to start all over again with my mother, with my father. Look at your father, that womb, and then see your mother's pain. And then see that maybe she just couldn't be a good mother. And then we'll get to allow the resentment to leave us. But write a letter to that energy, dead or alive, guys. I'll do it with you. No. This is a letter between you and God, sweetie. Do not give that letter to your mother. Them's fighting words. Do not do it. Mother here. Don't do it. My sister, my sister once wrote a letter to my mother. Wow, I just remembered that, Bree. Huh. I just remembered that. My sister wrote a letter to my mother. Why did that memory come, guys? And you know what? It changed their relationship for the better. It was an ugly letter, though. I remember the letter because I don't know how my mother got the letter, but I remember my sister saying that she had regretted somehow giving her the letter. So I thought I remember her saying, did mommy see the letter? But my mom had seen the letter. Wow. And it changed their relationship for the better. But the way I get it, it was the first time that somebody had called my mother out. And the letter made her identify her relationship with her daughter. And now, now this is making sense. That's why my sister wound up being more favored. Because I feel like my mom was making up for my sister's upbringing. Interesting. Look at what transparency does. It just brings out other things. That's so funny. Because through the letter, my mom didn't want my sister looking at her that way. So she became, as an adult woman, a better mom to my sister. Wow. I'm not resentful anymore. I have written a letter to her in the past, not sent it to her. Good. And forgave her. Good. But take this week, because there's a 16-year thing. Take this week and maybe do it over again. Maybe there's new insight. Like I just had a revelation that my sister wrote a letter to my mother, and that made that relationship so much better. I don't think my sister's a good person. but it identified with my mom to treat my sister better as an adult. It's two different things, I'm trying to tell you. Let me see. Who do you love? I love him even though he treats me like shit. Who? All right. I'm not following. Okay, transparency. Mothers. Bree. She's alive. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Tracy. To be honest, I really have to say that in the past 3 weeks, especially when she was staying with me, Bree lives in Houston. So there were some electrical issues in Houston. Her mom was staying with her. I learned so much just by watching her. Oh, good girl. Bree says, Angela, I'm sorry you had these experiences with your mother in this life. You know what? Talk to God. Tell God, I'm not doing this again. We're not having these same experiences again. Um, Thank you, Bree. Thank you so much. Sending you love with your situation with your mother. Look at you guys. Bree says that slave womb. I love him even though he treats me like shit. Who? We're talking about mother. Oh, your dad? Do I have to give her the letter? No. You can burn it when you're done. Who even though he treats me like shit, is this your dad, Bree? All right. Bree goes, yes. When you said there are women who have said to you, I love him even though he treats me like shit, I was saying that's a slave womb energy. I guess. I don't know. Slave womb energy. I think everything is slave womb with black folks. So I would say yes. But I also think that if you don't grow up in a household with loving male energy, then you find men who repeat that to you. They you find men that give you back what you know. And so again, I'm back to counseling at any stage, relationship or no relationship, because it's very important to identify that there's a father womb energy. So I think everything, you're right, Bree, goes back to slavery. And then we can look at the individual as a totality. Because I think that you know, as a mother or father, when you're being a bad person. I remember seeing the look in my mother's eyes when she was being mean. You know it. You know when you have a child out there and you have not seen that child or participated in that child's life. You know it. And that's father womb energy. And at any stage, there was a girl. Let me tell you something. Oh, child. One of my clients, young lady, her dad came into the reading. And I said, what's the story with your dad? So she tells me the story. And I said, sweetie, I don't know why I said this with her. I can only tell you the readings are the readings. And I said, contact your dad. She says, yeah, but my mom, that's another thing. A lot of moms keep, children away from their dads, like really fucked up. Like the world is fucked up. And she goes, yeah, my mom. And I was like, yeah, I hear you. But you're grown now. You're not 16. You're 26. I don't know how old she was. I said, if these cards are telling me to reach out to your dad, please reach out to him. And 6 months go by, and I get another phone call. And she goes, I reached out to my dad. And we talk so much now. And I was like, oh, look at you. Oh, my goodness. This is amazing. And she goes, yeah, it feels good. And, it's started out real slow, and now it's just picked up momentum, and I was like, oh my God, this makes me so happy for you. Next time I hear from her, it might have been 18 months later. And she calls me and she's crying. And she said, I know why Spirit told me to reach out to my dad. He died. And I was like, wow. See, Spirit didn't tell me her dad was about to die. I would have scared her more. She would have been like, well, if he's about to die, what the hell am I reaching out to him for? I'm not doing it. Spirit said, reach out to your dad. She read the memo. Most people don't read the memo when they get psychic readings. Y'all waste money. Y'all waste money. If I tell y'all this is not going to work out for you, y'all got to believe me. And she read the memo and she called her dad and they figured it out. It was about 3 years of a relationship, but she got it in there before he died. And she was so fucking grateful. And I was so damn grateful to God that I do this type of work, that I can connect a father with the child. He was screaming out to her spiritually. And the only way he could get in was through a reading. And Spirit said, call Tracy. Imagine her life from this point on. Imagine how much better she will operate. She will live. She will look for a man of the character that her dad showed her in the last 3 years. Wow. Wow. Well, that little section took up the whole time. This little section right here, often by hatred, resentment, jealousy, fear, and now anger. I got to add that. And the effects that drugs and alcohol have, the deliberate use of rituals for evil intent, and other negative emotions and negative conditions are all factors on our makeup. This is the final thing I'm going to say. We talked about this. We talked about this. We talked about this. You do evil work on anyone. And if you've done it in the past, today is the day to identify with your personal ugly that would cause you to do evil work on anyone. That means evil work where you wished someone's demise. Not like get them away from me, block the energy, where you wish they were dead. Think about it this way. I always got good examples. Let's say you're married and a woman interferes in your relationship. You think you're not going to have thoughts of killing her? Like strangling her? Hoping she gets hit by a Mack truck? Natural responses. But if you take that feeling of hatred for someone that interfered in your marriage, even though you're sleeping next to your enemy, but you want to blame her, and you go to someone to make her go away by any means necessary, that's evil rituals. And that is something you have got to clean up. You've got to clean that energy up, because there's no way you can have a healthy relationship with even your own children if you ever did anything like this. Now remember, God is a good God. God understands emotions. If you really, really read the Bible, which is why I don't pay religious people any mind, the Bible is full of evil shit. Constantly killing, jealousy, off with their head, cutting their hair off to diminish, someone's powers, in the middle of a war, right? The Bible is full of hatred. Y'all keep talking about the Bible, and then we get to Revelations, and God's like, I'm killing everybody. Look to your left and look to your right. People gonna be dropping, and it might be you. So don't think anything that you did cannot be forgiven. Just ask for it. And ask for it before it's too late. Ask for it before God says, yeah, well, come up here and we'll talk about forgiveness. Because you can't stay down there anymore. I've already made up my mind. Ask for it. And it, like now, identify with your ugly. Identify you. Not your husband, not your boyfriend, not your children, not a mistress, right? A thought. You. Identify you. Identify the not nice person, not nice person in you. Let it out. Cry to God. I'm fucked up, God. I'm fucked up. We can blame our moms if we want, but at some point, just like your moms could have made better decisions, at some point, it's time for you to identify with you. You do that on this day, 7/21, you've changed your whole life. I promise you. The light inside will happen. The peace inside. Things will just change with you. All right, everyone. I'm done lecturing. Bree goes, love at the Bible. Yes, preach, Tracy, preach. Man, once I started reading the Bible, I was like, this Bible is fucked up. Y'all worry about war today? The Bible's full of war. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for today. I didn't go to sleep until 3 o'clock. I had to do all my candle magic because the way I do my magic, the moon was turning at 6:02, 6:03 this morning. And so I like to do my magic before the moon turns because it's still in its full effect. By the time the moon turns at the hour, we're now moving into the next moon phase. So I like to do it in the fullness of the moon. Oh, it was so pretty last night. Did anybody see the moon? And so I did my candle magic. And it's so pretty, guys. I mean, it's so pretty. By the way, I use something, this is my newest thing for candle magic. I use something called Gravavi codes. It's kind of like a cheat sheet, and it's numbers, and we're all based in our birth upon a sequence of numbers. So I'm just going using an original sequence that God birthed us in. And so it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And then I use crystals. I use crosses. I use herbs and oil. I use all kinds of things. So pretty. Thank you. All right, guys. And I put it on my ancestor altar. Because who else is going to take care of me but these ancestors? They love me. Shoot. These ancestors, they watch out for me. All right, guys. Thank you. I hope you didn't mind the lecture today. I hope I got through. I hope I helped. I hope I made a difference. I love you. If you would like a reading with me, I am available today, 213-458-7408. Please book a reading with me. Also, if you're listening, like the video, but more importantly, subscribe. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live. Go to Tracy Brown Live.